Welcome everyone! Before we continue, I want to clarify that the models I'm about to present are chosen primarily based on camera quality and the photos or videos captured by these devices. Many of you might argue that there are better phones with superior features like battery life or other specifications, and yes, that may very well be true. But as I mentioned, my focus here is mainly on camera performance. With that in mind, let's get started. Smartphones with the best cameras. 10 Vivo X100 Ultra. The Vivo X100 Ultra stands out for its advanced camera system, perfect for mobile photography enthusiasts. It features a high-resolution 50-megapixel 1-inch main sensor with gimbal OIS stabilization. Along with its video recording quality, this is its strongest attribute. This phone excels in low-light conditions, capturing more light to deliver enhanced images. Additionally, it includes a 50-megapixel ultra-wide lens and a 200-megapixel telephoto lens with a 1/1.4-inch sensor. And as if that weren't enough, it also offers a 3.7 times periscope zoom stabilized by Zeiss lenses. This setup provides versatility for different photography styles. Its artificial intelligence functions automatically optimize image quality, enhancing details like portraits and adjusting settings based on the scene. Another highlight is its high-definition video recording with image stabilization for smoother videos. The user interface is intuitive, making it easy to access various photography modes like night, portrait, and macro. Overall, the camera system of the Vivo X100 Ultra provides powerful tools for capturing high-quality images. 9. Honor 200 Pro. Huawei's sub-brand has certainly made a name for itself in the photography department. This lineup is one of the most balanced in terms of performance. Although this phone isn't a true flagship, its cameras aim to be. In fact, the main sensor is the same one found in the Honor Magic 6 Pro, which is definitely the highlight of this model. Specifically, it features a 50-megapixel main camera with a 1.3-inch H900 sensor, along with optical image stabilization, or OIS. It also has a 50-megapixel telephoto camera with a Sony IMX856 sensor, OIS, and 2.5 times zoom, which can digitally extend up to 50 times, although this would significantly reduce quality. There's also a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera and, to top it all off, a 50-megapixel selfie camera. As for the camera app, it's worth mentioning that, as with other Honor and Huawei phones, the interface could use an update. The settings menu remains nearly identical to versions from 5 years ago. The major innovation in this model comes in the shooting styles. With Honor, you can choose between Vibrant, which is the default mode, Natural, and Authentic. In nighttime scenes, the shutter is slightly slower to capture more light, whether you choose it or not. But without a doubt, all these features make it a great option when it comes to camera quality. 8. Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro. Despite being considered a mid-range phone, its photographic capabilities are undoubtedly attention-grabbing. The main camera, which was well-received in the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus, remains excellent in this generation. It features Samsung's 200-megapixel HP3 sensor as the primary lens, with a 1/1.4-inch size and optical stabilization. The MediaTek Dimensity 7 2000 Ultra works hard to process these hefty 45-megabyte files, and processing time takes a couple of seconds. Additionally, when taking a photo at 200 megapixels, there's another brief delay for the camera preview, just 2 seconds, but you can tell the files are large. This results in a level of detail that's easy to appreciate. An auto mode photo has boosted contrast and artificial sharpness, while the 200 megapixel photo delivers a more natural color and sharpness. At night, the processing has its highs and lows, and you may need to work with the photo more carefully in low-light indoor settings or outdoors. For casual photos, the results are convincing. On the front, there's a 16-megapixel sensor that isn't very large but manages to capture decent detail when lighting is optimal. Overall, while it may not be the best phone in the world, its camera certainly adds extra value that makes it worth considering. 7. Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Samsung has always stood out with its devices, and photography is undoubtedly one of the strongest aspects of this model. Let's start with the main specs: a 200-megapixel super quad-pixel AF sensor with OIS, a 12-megapixel dual-pixel ultra-wide sensor, a 50-megapixel telephoto sensor with 5 times optical zoom and optical stabilization, and an additional 10-megapixel telephoto sensor with 3 times optical zoom and optical stabilization. These specifications have remained similar for 2 generations, yet this phone still leads the pack in this category. Artificial intelligence algorithms are heavily integrated into this phone. At the core of its photography software is the Pro Visual Engine, a set of AI-powered tools that, according to Samsung, aim to provide users with more creative options and improve photo quality, especially in challenging shooting conditions. The night mode, called Nightography by Samsung, leverages the 1.4 micron photodiodes of the main camera sensor. Another standout feature of the S24 Ultra is its video recording capabilities. An AI algorithm identifies the natural movement of the person recording, separating it from the movement of people appearing in the video. This intelligent feature is useful, at least on paper, for reducing noise and increasing detail, especially when recording video in low-light conditions. One final note: the instant slow-mo tool generates additional frames through a detailed analysis of the original frames, helping to produce higher quality slow-motion videos with greater detail. A powerful combination of hardware and software that results in photo and video quality sure to leave many in awe. 6. iPhone 16 Pro Max. Apple continues to shine in photography with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, featuring 3 rear cameras that haven't changed much from last year's model. It might sound like a complaint, and it kind of is because it feels like one. It's been 2 generations without significant innovations, and while the technology is impressive, I think we users, who certainly don't pay a small price, deserve a bit more effort. Okay, I said it. Moving on. This model features a 48-megapixel wide-angle camera with autofocus using 100% focus pixels and optical stabilization, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera with autofocus also using 100% focus pixels, and a telephoto camera with 5 times zoom, a 12-megapixel sensor, and second-generation sensor shift optical stabilization. In addition to these 3 cameras, it includes a LiDAR sensor that enhances low-light focusing and is used in augmented reality applications. Plus, the iPhone 16 Pro Max has a front camera with a 12-megapixel sensor and focus pixels autofocus. The iPhone 16 Pro Max can save images in a RAW format called Apple ProRAW at 48 megapixels. RAW files contain all the information captured by the sensor and are meant to be edited with image editing software. Apple has also improved its photographic styles, allowing for adjustments to different areas of photos and enhancing skin tones with a wider variety of shades. Its interface is undoubtedly one of the things users love due to its versatility. New for this model is a second-generation quad-pixel sensor that can read data twice as fast. The new dual sensors for autofocus also track lens position in real time to improve focus. Additionally, the only notable new feature is a physical button to control the camera directly, which, to be honest, causes more issues than solutions. Still, it remains a great option, especially for content creators, as its strongest point is its user-friendly experience with social media. 5. Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. Overall, there aren't major differences between the Google Pixel 8 Pro and the new Google Pixel 9 Pro. The technical specifications are basically the same. Google has refined the lens system and their placement within the module, as well as the module itself, which reduces glare, a positive improvement. Let's look at the camera details. It has a 50-megapixel main camera with image stabilization, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera with lens correction and autofocus, a 48-megapixel telephoto camera with image stabilization and 5 times optical zoom plus hybrid zoom up to 30 times, and a 42-megapixel front camera with autofocus. Google has enhanced the software while keeping key features introduced in the Pixel 8 Pro, such as manual adjustments or pro shooting at 50 megapixels. A great feature of this phone is the ability to adjust capture settings before taking a photo, reducing dependence on post-processing. The interface is user-friendly and provides everything you need for customization. stabilization. The phone supports up to 8K video at 30 frames per second, an enormous resolution that uses about 2 gigabytes per minute. Videos have great detail, are perfectly stabilized, lack saturation, and have a very natural white balance. Additionally, Google offers an AI-powered video optimizer for further enhancements, which requires uploading a backup to Google Photos, as processing occurs in the cloud. All these options result in a final photo or video of excellent quality, making it undoubtedly one of the best options on the market. 4. Oppo Find X7 Ultra. This smartphone puts a strong emphasis on photography, display, and performance, areas in which Oppo has always excelled. Now, onto the main point, photography. As expected, the company has once again showcased its collaboration with Hasselblad. The Oppo Find X7 Ultra features a 1-inch 50-megapixel main sensor with OIS, a 50-megapixel ultra-wide lens which also functions as a macro, and 2 telephoto lenses. One of these is a 50-megapixel lens for portraits, and the other, arguably the best part of this phone, is a 50-megapixel telephoto lens with 6 times optical zoom and optical stabilization. This telephoto lens allows for 6 times optical zoom, or if you want to go further, up to 120 times digital zoom. The purpose behind these 2 telephoto lenses is to provide the ability to capture portraits at 2 focal lengths, 65 and 135 millimeters. Both cameras produce high-quality photos with notable detail capture and, most importantly, vibrant colors. These results are expected, given the optical zoom, but Oppo's Hypertone image engine further enhances photo quality. In terms of video, it records in 4K Dolby Vision, and the internal selfie camera offers 32 megapixels. The Oppo Find X7 Ultra's 4-camera setup provides versatility for any scenario, achieving impressive results in most cases. It's also worth highlighting the capabilities of the 50-megapixel main sensor, which is the new LYT900 from Sony's Lydia series. So if you're looking for a device that delivers professional quality photos right from your pocket, this is a fantastic choice. 3. Honor Magic 6 Pro. Another standout from Huawei's sub-brand, with an even more ambitious focus on photography than last year, an innovative design, and the best hardware available today, this phone has solid reasons to become one of the best phones of 2024. The Honor Magic 6 Pro maintains a large circular camera module on the back. The camera combination is unique this year, featuring the highest resolution telephoto lens available. It includes a 50-megapixel main camera with a variable aperture from f1.4 to f2.0, a 180-megapixel telephoto lens, yes, you heard that right, with 2.5 times periscope zoom and a 50-megapixel ultra-wide lens. The hardware is outstanding, accompanied by an app that feels familiar and hasn't changed much from the previous generation. Beyond that, performance is solid, with everything you need for great photography. This camera is exceptional, placing Honor among the best in the market. There is no loss of sharpness at the edges. In indoor photos with artificial lighting, it handles exposure well, capturing artificial light impressively. When night falls, the results are as good as what you see during the day. This camera doesn't struggle with low light, quite the opposite. The Honor tends to capture more light than is actually present, even without activating night mode. Edge sharpness and exposure under artificial lighting are top-notch. If you want a camera for night photography, this is by far the best option. The 180 megapixels may seem like a marketing tactic until you take zoom photos with the Honor Magic 6 Pro. This is probably the sharpest telephoto lens on the market, and although it's only 2.5 times zoom, the results are flawless. The amount of detail captured is impressive, with consistent color matching to the main lens, and the modest zoom invites you to shoot practically everything with it. I know what you're thinking. You want to try it, right? Well, I don't blame you, because this camera is a delight for those who truly appreciate photography. 2. Huawei Pura 70 Ultra. Huawei's new flagship line comes under the new Pura branding, and this model is undoubtedly its top offering. It's an evolution of the P series into a new family with the same focus on design and photography. Physically, it features a 50-megapixel main camera with laser autofocus and sensor shift OIS, a retractable lens telephoto camera with 50 megapixels, a 3.4mm optical telephoto lens with OIS, and finally a 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera. There are three major innovations positioning Huawei in the race for mobile photography dominance. First, the sensor is now a full inch in size, the Sony IMX989, making it currently unbeatable in capability. Second, the sensor is stabilized, a technology that Apple debuted in the iPhone 14 Pro Max to replace traditional optical stabilizers. And finally, this phone features a retractable lens. The Huawei's camera hides when not in use. Once you open the camera app, the lens emerges from the device's body, powered by small motors designed to withstand over 300,000 extensions, according to Huawei. The interface is comprehensive with all necessary modes, manual settings, and scene recognition, though Google Lens is absent for obvious reasons. Photo by photo, one can only say that while this camera isn't perfect, no camera on the market is, it is undoubtedly one of the top three in terms of its main sensor. Most of its competitors struggle to capture detail in shadowed areas without compromising the sky or introducing noise in dark regions. The Huawei, however, handles this effortlessly. At night, it performs well, although there are other cameras that do better. The king of daytime shots, though it falls slightly at night. Nevertheless, this phone is undoubtedly among the best in photography. 1. Xiaomi 14 Ultra. This is Xiaomi's most premium high-end model, and it is undeniably focused on photography enthusiasts, especially the most demanding ones. Its partnership with Leica has definitely paid off, and the initial impression is that the Xiaomi 14 Ultra is closer to a professional camera than a smartphone. Many even consider it the ultimate photography smartphone of 2024. First of all, Xiaomi has once again chosen a 1-inch Sony sensor and a dual telephoto setup, but there are significant changes in the configuration. The main sensor is 50 megapixels with a variable aperture from f1.6 to f4.0, featuring the Sony LYT900, the most advanced sensor Sony has ever created for a phone. It also has a 5x periscope telephoto sensor, a 3.2 times optical telephoto sensor, and a 50 megapixel ultra-wide sensor. These specifications place it at the top of mobile photography. As for the camera app, it is quite similar to last year's. However, this year introduces new features like director mode, which allows you to record video with manual adjustments, offering incredible levels of control, and the log format. The lens aperture can be precisely controlled with predefined values, or you can adjust it down to the millimeter. A larger aperture provides more light and blur, sharpness is extremely high, and skin tones might lean a bit warm, but overall the results are impressive. In daylight, raw shooting is a treat, allowing for outstanding editing results. This is achieved through Xiaomi's ultra-raw format, which combines data from multiple photos to create a final file richer in dynamic range. Without JPEG processing, the sensor's true natural quality shines through. It also features powerful 5x optical zoom, enhanced by Xiaomi's ultra zoom technology, which uses AI to improve sharpness at higher zoom levels. Starting from 5x and achieving 30x results is remarkable, and while digital zoom can go up to 100x, it's best to stay below 30x. Xiaomi also offers one of the best video setups, at least in terms of technical capabilities. It can record up to 8K in automatic mode, but its comfort zone is 4K at 30 to 60 frames per second. Stabilization is good, though color accuracy could use some improvement. Overall, the results are excellent. The Xiaomi 14 Ultra is capable of recording in log, a trend popularized by Apple. Xiaomi's log format is much more practical for a smartphone than Apple's, as it doesn't consume your entire memory and is aimed at faster editing. There are more features this device offers, but with everything mentioned so far, it's clear that this is currently the king of smartphone photography. You heard it, these are the best when it comes to photography. We've had a few surprises, as many think iPhones are the top choice in this category, and while it's true that they are strong contenders in photography, the reality is that there are several models that are even better. So everyone say cheese, and see you next time.